Hi, everybody. I'm Pete Krupski, the voice of USA Hockey's National Team Development Program. You're watching CTV Sports. Coming up next on CTV, it's the Sports Guys with our good friends Steve, Chuck, and Rod. Don't miss it.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to a championship edition of the Sports Guys. We have championship basketball tonight. And before we get to that, I'm going to go over some local news. By the way, I'm Christian Gibbons with Steve Vane, Chuck Hiller, Rod Kalgren, and yes, I did forget to introduce you guys, but I remember. All right, so let's start with the Tigers. They kicked off their season last Thursday with the Dodgers. Then they headed up to Seattle and won 2 out of 3 against Seattle. Then they came home, and they got the brooms out over the weekend, sweeping the White Sox, which isn't that hard to do because the White Sox are absolute garbage. So they kicked off with a 7-2 victory over the White Sox on Friday. Kerry Carpenter and Spencer Torkelson both hit home runs, and everybody in the ballpark thought that first home run by Kerry Carpenter was a home run, except the umpires. Literally, I was there, and we all saw it hit off the foul pole in real time, except for the stripes. So I don't know, but they reviewed it, and it was a home run. Then on April 5th, on Saturday, they beat the White Sox 7-2. And then yesterday, in the frigid cold, they came back to win against the White Sox 4-3. Spencer Torkelson, who, by the way, same guy I saw in Toledo play like absolute dumpster fire last year, has now turned back into a major league player.
There you go.
So they won 4-3 on a walk-off to seal the comeback victory. Pistons made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. They lost to the Memphis Grizzlies on Friday, 109-103. But Cade Cunningham is back from injury, and he had 25 points and 9 rebounds in his return.
Nice.
And they did clinch their first playoff berth in 6 seasons, and they're guaranteed at least the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference.
Wow.
On April 4th, so on Thursday, the Wings won 5-3 over the Hurricanes. Patrick Kane reached another milestone with his win and his goal there. April 6th, they beat the Florida Panthers. So yesterday, 2-1. Alex DeBrincat, JT Compher, and had goals, and Cam Talbot had 32 saves, which he's been a stone wall the last few games. And then just a couple of Lions notes. Terrion Arnold has changed his jersey number from 0 to 6. That's to honor his former Alabama teammate, Kyrie Jackson, who passed away in a car accident last year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Head coach Dan Campbell addressed the media last week, and he talked a little bit about the challenging road schedule that the Lions have, and he called it a meat grinder.
Oh. Wow.
So that's, in typical
quite
Dan Campbell
descriptive.
form, you go through the meat grinder, bite some kneecaps, and we'll be just
There you
fine.
go. All right.
And then Lions off-season program begins April 22nd with OTAs, and then mandatory minicamp is scheduled for the following week. So that was the week in Detroit sports, and like we said, we have Final Four was on Saturday. That was excellent. We had the drive, chip, and putt from Augusta. We had the Augusta Women's Amateur to talk about. We got a lot of NASCAR, but we'll get started with Steve with his update on college and football news.
There you go. Well, before we get away from hockey, just Ovechkin.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Totally forgot about that.
there
We
you
had
go.
so much going on. I forgot about the record.
There you go. Ovechkin broke Gretzky's record at 895 against the New York Islanders, and they lost 4-1.
But they did stop the game as soon as
Oh, yeah.
he scored the goal and held a 7-minute ceremony on the visiting team's rink So, I mean, it's a great accomplishment, and he deserved it, and it was nice that Wayne Gretzky was there. But if I'm the Islanders, you want to stop my game on my ice for this guy?
Somebody else.
Yeah, but anyway, Gary Bettman's a smarter man than I, so.
Yeah, it's a thought that counts. Yeah, but like say the Final Four, like say that in men's, like say that was rather interesting that Florida took care of Auburn, rather mundane kind of game, back and forth, pretty exciting right down to the wire. And a really exciting game was the Duke-Houston game, where Houston went on a 9-0 run in the last 33 seconds.
Ooh, oh.
Overcoming a 14-point deficit
That's what I mean,
that they were behind, and wind up beating Duke 70-67. And Duke just choked down the stretch there. They missed a couple of free throws. They missed a short
Auburn
shot
did
in
the
the
same
key.
thing.
Yeah, they kind of choked too in the
Auburn,
first game.
I couldn't believe how poor their foul shooting was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Charles
mean,
Barkley
these
was
are-
apoplectic on the set after that.
I hear you there.
But I saw an they put up a graphic on the broadcast that Duke was held to one field goal
yeah,
in the last 10 minutes and 30 seconds of the second half.
right.
And that's one of the reasons that Houston came back to win.
I guess, yeah.
They
When
just
you're down
locked
by
down-
14, you need a really cold
Yeah.
streak to catch up.
And, I mean, lockdown defense. And that's Kelvin Sampson is one hell of a coach.
Oh yeah.
And just interesting note on my end, the operations manager for the Houston Cougars, former video coach for my University of Detroit Mercy Titans.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to the national championship.
There you go.
So I texted him over the weekend, and he's very, very excited. He didn't text me back until this morning. They were partying so hard. So
Yeah, man. So that's going to bust a lot of brackets
yes,
because Duke and
Mine's
Auburn
gone.
were the top,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
two top dogs. Everybody expected either one or both of them to make the final championship game.
I thought that was going to be the final.
Yeah. Instead,
Duke
we
and
get
Auburn.
It would
Houston.
have been, I thought, a lot more interesting than what we've got.
Yeah, instead we get Houston and Florida. It's like,
yeah, I can see some
happened?
suits on Fifth Avenue in New York at CBS television going, really?
yeah, they've been hyping Auburn and Duke all year long, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they get
And
eliminated.
then there's my wife in her
semifinal.
bracket. She had Duke going out in the first round.
Oh.
So she's like, I'm going for a big upset. I'm like, yeah, you
that's
are.
a big upset for sure. But the girls, ladies basketball, that Carolina took care of Texas in the Final Four, and they were kind of lining things up to go for their fourth title in the championship game. And let's see, UConn took care of UCLA in big time fashion.
Oh, yeah.
It was the largest win deficit in the Final Four for the ladies. And of course, going in, they had 13 title games and 12 titles
Yeah.
under their belt. And of course, then they went to the final game with, like say, Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina and UConn, 82-59.
Oh,
Like, holy
Yeah.
smokes.
That was about the same score that they beat UCLA. Two number ones that they beat, they killed.
Right.
They
Yeah.
were 20 points ahead going into the fourth quarter.
And I've never seen a Dawn Staley team that's South Carolina. I've never seen one of her teams look as
Go that
bad.
flat.
I mean, and UConn's, always a powerhouse.
Right.
But South Carolina's been the team to beat the last few years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah, and the defense they were playing was just outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, like say, it was just a methodical beatdown for the whole game.
Well, and
I mean,
it's
they
interesting.
started out,
Yeah.
moved ahead, and just never looked back.
Well, and Paige Beckers, she's not Caitlin Clark
Right.
with the explosive plays, but she's just as good of a basketball player. And
Probably, yeah.
she's a star. She's
Yeah,
gonna.
I think she's number 3 on the list of total number of points in the NCAA
no,
tournament.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But anyway, so one more basketball note that Denver Nuggets Djokovic has a 40-point triple-double.
Wow.
He finally beat Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was
That's kind of going back a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tonight, we're taping on Monday, so
Yeah.
tonight we'll have Houston and Florida.
And you'll have to wait a whole week for our reaction to that. But before we go off the air, we will have our game picks for that.
Oh, there we
what
go.
are the odds right now?
Let's see. I have my
Because you
handy
can
dandy
chase that. I didn't.
talk while
Yeah.
Oh,
I look this up.
all
So
right.
take me a second.
Cool.
What do you got, Chuck? While
Okay,
I'm looking
yeah.
this up?
We were at Darlington Racing this week, and we had some unusual things happen. Darlington was open in '55, and it was known as a track with one lane track at the first turn and the second turn, and we mean one lane. In order to get around, the people finally figured out, go way at the bottom and just go around there at the bottom. Don't try to pass going up, you will commit suicide. And for the first year it did that. The first guy who won at Darlington did it with an unusual thing. He put on truck tires, 6-ply truck tires, therefore did not have to stop to get different tires on during the game, and he won.
Is that legal?
It was then. Now it isn't.
Yeah.
Now
Wow.
it is. Then finally somebody got the brains and said that when I am pushed up, I see that I am going faster, but I can't control the car at all. It's going to be suicide. So what they did is they changed the suspension on the car, and now everybody goes 3 inches, 2 inches from the top, and it goes around, and everybody follows in line. And a crazy thing happens. Hamlin wins again in a shootout at the end. Another Camry win, back-to-back wins, first time in 13 years. It was Hamlin's 5th win at the track, his 66th win in NASCAR. That to me is an astounding thing for a guy that, yeah, we've heard of Hamlin, but not the Richard Petty and all of that stuff
right.
there. And yet this guy's a winner all the way. The big thing that came across at 5:59 this morning, all of the sports guys, many of the big sports guys with big money, do not drive American cars. It's a known fact. I checked it out at the Ford place over here when we do the Lions, and you check them. A lot of them do Road Rangers, Land Rangers, and of course the movie moguls. They all do Jaguars. As of this morning, they are not shipping any more Jaguars or Land Rovers to the United States. They've ceased sending them over here because of the tariff.
And that's interesting. You know, Land Rover used to be owned by Ford.
That's right.
For a while,
That's right.
so-
That's right.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. So, right back to college basketball real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
We wanted
yeah.
the spread. So, first of all, very interesting. Florida and Houston both have a 35-4 record. Florida is favored by 1.5. That is a very slim margin in Vegas, and
Yeah,
that's by
right.
That could
ESPN
be a
bet.
good game then.
It
That
sh-
could
it
be a
should be a
good game
game.
tonight.
Now, on the ESPN matchup predictor from ESPN Analytics, has Houston winning 65%, but Vegas says 1.5, Florida. So, I guess
Yeah, like I
That's
say, pick a
beautiful when
different
you
team.
got all of that and all
Yeah.
different things. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
CBS may come out with a
Oh,
few
there-
bucks
it'll be the
afterwards.
highest rated show this week, probably. But yeah. Anyway, so Rod, you got a lot of news to
Oh, yeah,
cover
he's-
because
Oh, there you go.
it's
All right.
Masters
Man,
week.
he's got papers full.
A
over
tra-
there.
tradition
of course,
unlike any other.
The Masters starts this week, and up until now, they've all been looking toward it, and they had the Augusta National Women's Amateur,
Oh,
or the
there you go.
AN.
ANWA, right? Is that what they call it?
NWA
ANWA.
or
Yeah.
something. They try to shorten all these things down.
Yeah, make it roll off the tongue.
But
Sure.
this is the 6th year for women playing in a tournament at Augusta. And the format is that they have picked 92 women, the top women's amateurs worldwide
Wow.
to play. And I'm not sure exactly how their selection committee works, but they end up with 92. The tournament is 54 holes, 3 18-hole rounds. The first two everybody plays, and the low 30 play
On the last day.
the last day for all the marbles.
Wow, cool.
This year, Cabrera, it's not Cabrera, but it sounds like that, is a lady from Spain, and she won the tournament.
Wow, nice.
She was close last year. She is 21 years old.
An older lady.
Yeah.
The winner last year was it's not Webb, Lottie Webb or something, and she came in third. Second place
Asterisk.
was Asterisk Tally. Asterisk, we've talked about, is 16,
Wow.
and she's
And you know what? She's a star.
she is a,
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Come on.
nice, nice.
Tip your waitresses.
it's going to be
That's it.
interesting seeing her mature more and get stronger, and
Yeah.
you can see her on the winner's side
Yeah,
when
no
it
doubt.
comes in. But it attracted a lot of spectators, which is different from what the women usually face.
You would
So
think.
that was one of the things that affected their play, or could have affected their play. But they did very well. Starting today, we have the pitch, drive, pitch, and putt tournament for the ages of, for kids, the ages of 8 to 14.
16,
15.
14 or 16, yeah.
And that is fun to watch because they're out in front of a lot of people, and particularly when they get into the pitching and they're not, well, a lot of them aren't used to the speed of the greens at a place like Augusta. So putting becomes a real problem.
Oh, okay.
But it's interesting to watch, and they usually have some of the better women golfers. And who was the one that was Secretary of State? Rice?
Condoleezza Rice. yeah.
Condoleezza,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of her. Condoleezza Rice was one of the first women who was admitted to
Is it?
Augusta
Right,
Yeah,
right.
when they
Yeah.
changed their policy.
Right, men only.
And she is out there handing out the prizes to
Sure.
the different. And so you've got, and several of the top men golfers are there doing the same thing.
There you go.
So it's a fun thing from a spectator standpoint, and it'll be great to watch.
There you go. Cool.
Can I break in one thing?
Yeah.
Our new pastor for the Protestant congregation is flying out tomorrow. He will be there Thursday.
Oh,
He has a ticket for Thursday.
so we'll have to get him on
Yeah.
Sports Guys in the next
That's what
couple of
as
weeks.
soon as
I'll
I
be,
get- we
be
get him
making a
here.
phone call to him. We'll have a guest. We'll try and get a guest.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe maybe I'll
what
get
a,
him
what
to,
a deal.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say we could FaceTime him, but you're not allowed to have your phone. They take your phone from you
Yeah.
when you go out to Augusta. You are not allowed to have your phone
Oh, wow.
Isn't
at the
that
Masters.
something?
Yes, and have you seen the concession prices for the Masters? You want to guess how much a sandwich is?
20 bucks.
What?
$1.50.
$1.50.
$1.50.
Wow.
They keep their concessions prices really low.
I guess.
That's what I mean. Tickets are astronomical, sure.
Right. Right.
It's $250 a
That's it.
ticket.
Yeah.
For-
Is that
Imagine
for
green fees are way
yeah?
up there.
But your concessions,
What's that?
$1.50 for a sandwich, couple of bucks for a bag of chips.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's pretty cool.
One of my sons got a chance to play Augusta.
oh
Wow.
He was the CFO for his company in Atlanta and did a lot of work with the banks. And the bank presidents, in many cases, were members, and they invited him out there. And his biggest claim to fame was that he almost had a double eagle on number 2.
Oh wow.
And he had a caddy. He hit the ball a long way. He's
Yeah.
a good golfer. But number 2 is a relatively short par 5. And he said his third putt was about, for an eagle, was about 2 feet. And he said, looking at where it ended up, it had to have almost hit the pin when it rolled by the pin.
Wow.
He said, I've never had a double eagle.
Yeah. and those weren't even Sunday hole locations either.
No, no. Well, they weren't playing the real lengthy. They were
Yeah.
playing the members when
Members
they went
tee, yeah.
out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful place. It's a place I really would like to go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, there you go.
But so that's what we got, and I will say that the winner of the drive, chip, and putt for the girls, 14 to 50, was Abigail Hendrickson from Wisconsin.
Oh,
So Upper Midwest got the win there.
Cool.
We have anything else we want to talk
Ford
about?
used to sponsor that. Did they, or have they dropped out
No,
of it?
I don't believe. I think it's Volkswagen. I think.
Oh
or
my gosh. Okay.
Mercedes is a sponsor. Not one of them.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Brian Harmon won the Valspar, Texas Open.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah.
Which was, and Brian is about 36. He's from the United States. It was, the course was playing very tough and the weather conditions were bad because I think he was 9 under for the 72 holes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And he won it by a couple strokes. So nobody was tearing up the course. He had a 75 on the last day to
Oh, wow.
win it, and that's 3 over par.
Yeah. Yeah.
he has won about 3 or 4 other tournaments. His real excitement was that he was trying to qualify for the Ryder Cup,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and this got him qualified.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And he has played in the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup,
Wow.
and so those are tournaments that he really enjoyed. In fact, I think they're tournaments that all of the pros enjoy playing in.
Good.
And so that was the main thing that he was talking about when he finished and won it.
There you go. Yeah, one of the things in car racing, Verstappen got his first win of the season over in the Japanese Grand Prix.
Yes, yes,
There you go.
yes.
Yeah, those alerts keep waking me up in the middle of the night when they're on the other side of the world. It's like,
Hate when that happens.
I want to watch it, but it's 2 in the morning.
It's a
But
good
that
way
was
to
the
go to
problem
sleep.
Yeah,
though.
that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Duke basketball.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Tonight's game,
8:50.
8:50 is tip-off.
Well, we just go for nappy nap.
There you go, and set
Some
your
of us
alarm.
have to come to work, though, Chuck.
Oh, there is something like that.
Yeah. Not everybody on this panel is retired
Ooh.
anymore, all right?
There you go.
That dig.
Cool.
But yeah, 8:50 tonight on CBS. Like I said, let's do our picks. So who we got in the game tonight? Houston or Florida? We'll start with these.
I kind of like Florida.
Yeah.
I'll go
That,
Florida.
yeah, the coach at Florida, I think, is 39. He'll be one of the youngest coaches to ever win. Of course, Houston is their, I think that's, first conference NCAA title. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'd take Florida. But
I think this game is kind of like the last election.
Oh, this should be
I
interesting.
don't
Let's
like
see where he goes
either
here.
one of them. But you gotta take some.
That's
somebody's got to win.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I'll take Florida.
There you go. Flip a coin.
All right.
Why not?
okay, Chris.
I'm going to save the graphic, as they say on the NFL shows. I'm picking Houston out of loyalty to my buddy Will
Nice.
from U of D.
Nice.
We call them the Cardiac Cats because they gave us a heart attack the other night.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
And also for Jim Nance, our buddy Jim Nance on CBS is
Oh.
a Houston
Nice.
alumna. So,
Oh.
but yep. So that is Sports Guys for this
we go.
week. We will have a full Masters recap and a full recap of everything in sports. Hopefully the Tigers continue their winning ways. Hopefully they don't freeze over the next 3 days at
That's
Comerica
a
Park.
concern.
It's
There you
going to be darn cold. And Dan Dickerson said on the radio yesterday, bring your parka, bring your blanket, or just stay home and listen to me on the radio.
Oh, that's cute.
There you go.
Alrighty, so that wraps it up. I'm Christian Gibbons with Steve, Chuck, and Rod. We will see you again next week.
Have a great day.
Have a great week, and go Tigers.
Bye bye now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pete Krupski, the voice of USA Hockey's National Team Development Program. You're watching CTV Sports.